and we change it if it doesn't work. Let's take a look at the agent select. And Navi, you were right, are changing things. And it isn't okay.
Listen, do you know what? At least it's not Angel on the Teho, because when Angel was playing Teho on Lotus, it didn't look totally great. It felt like he was very kind of, you know, not in line with the rest of what his team were trying to do. So I think Xiao, this is nice for me, because we've seen him play the Teho on the Pearl, and it didn't look bad.
I like them starting defense here with a double Sensi as well. I think Deadlock has value on this map in terms of like a little bit of gimmick value. The net early on to take rubble control is going to be really big for Na'Vi. And BBL are going to have to figure out quickly, and maybe in some timeouts, figure out how they're going to deal with the double Sentinel.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of double Sentinel here. Angel is his first time on the Deadlock. So I'm really looking forward to see how this defense goes. And I'm also really looking forward to tossing this over to our casters for this match. It's Haza and Cairo.
Thanks, guys. Yes, in what proves to potentially be a historic day for BBL, their debut in a playoff stage and a chance to make it 4 consecutive wins, something they've never done in VCT EMEA history before. Na'Vi are here and ready to play spoiler, fresh off the back of a win against last time's kickoff champs.
Yeah, and as well as that, Haza, when we look at stage 1 for Na'Vi, the full time they haven't changed the comp when they've revisited a map. They're revisiting Lotus, changing it for the first time in playoffs. For BBL, we've seen them start to regress in terms of playing with a jet now rather than playing with more intricate compositionally wise. So looking at this, looking at Lotus, there's so much to be excited about.
Absolutely, and you hit the nail on the head. The desk as well stressed it in detail. Na'Vi haven't won this map since week 1, stage 1, 2024. They have a trend of wanting to play it and then changing the comp. They've done so the last 4 times, this the 5th. Starting on the defense, you can already see the protocols in place. Early positioning Angel outside of A. Stacked setup C to be tested.
Mound fight easily won with the dump of utility. Something that BBL like to do. They love to go in mid-round and take their time. 11 though, with a chance to maybe clear close left. Doesn't. Oh, Rukzik at the same time gets the entry.
Yeah, so much damage offloaded than that exchange. I mean, BBL, they can't have the green light and hit C simply based on the fact that the util ran out, and now with Angel reinforcing the A lobby side, the barrier mesh going up, and even further time for Na'Vi to reset. It's a 5 versus 3, and will BBL have to give up all the ground that they've got on sand?
Still though, you look towards Angel all alone on the east side, untradeable. He knows what he needs to do, backing off and playing a lot more passive.
There was also a cam up in sand as well that only just got broken by Yampi on the way out, so a little bit of an information vacuum, but very quickly that void is filled. Na'Vi now know, the captain calling it in. A, where BBL will look to end this.
Something that BBL have been very good at is fighting back in 1vx's, 2vx's, and a 3 versus 5. Can they do it here?
That's the question you're asking, and it's going to come through some clever positioning perhaps. Yampi leading the charge, Sociable right behind him. 2 players walking into the stairwell and 2 making an approach from spawn.
Chance, you've got to be looking towards that B. Heaven player, and it's Prophet that gets the first kill.
Oh, yeah, but they're off site now, Cairo, so this is a problem and the smokes are up.
Yeah, I mean, just going to defuse here. You need a player to get off the defuse, but Yampi comes in the right time. Still the defuse coming through, and Navi gets the pistol.
Sociable's going to walk away and wipe the slate clean, but that's a frustrating way to lose the first. We know that BBL's pistols have been good, the best worldwide, some may say. And that always comes through the slight deviation in terms of preparation, but this round, when you go 2 players down, you're never going to be falling back on what that preparation looks like. It's always plan B.
Something to keep our eye on as well as we move through this map is Levin, right? It's been feast or famine for him on the duelist. Something interesting about him on the jet. He's tied first in first kill percentage per round, right? But he's also third in first deaths per round from stage 1.
That's exactly it. To just bounce off what you've said, ever since the Liquid game, he's always gone positive in first engagements, but they do still take a heavy toll. Oh, that's another one of them. Koala Noob with the punish. This round for BBL, a bit of a write-off. It is just that Outlaw, which has now exchanged hands, and as Prophet reloads it, Na'Vi should know. Absolutely no reason to give BBL what they want here.
It's a big investment in towards your anti-eco.
Something that we've seen the other Turkish team do as well, Foot. They have been playing the exact same way, looking to try and set up Zeus, both duelists from last year in the Turkish Challenger League.
Get through this A rubble fight once again as YouTube comes through, but Ruxic taking that peek. Brings it back to 4 versus 4.
Yeah.
Angel in a do or die position.
He's the only player here, so he's got to try and go scorched earth. The drone
Does it clear him?
not gonna clear the corner, so how much more does Angel get?
30 seconds left.
There's only one player pathing into him, like you say. Sociable has to open up the door for a second time, but Angel's still not quite going for this timing. Now the sight hit comes through and he drops.
Oh, this is going to be massive, Hazza. Spike low still to make its way onto site, and look at the time.
10 seconds or so. That's factoring in the spike plant, and still BBL not quite getting to work. Yampi finally drops it to the deck, but so does the rest of his squad. Koala Noob makes it 3 on the round. Profik in this 1 versus 2 still has you on the edge of your seat. It's a spray that could line up for him. He's got the first, but Shao saves the day. Navi through the anti-eco, but not without a scratch or two.
Yeah, playoffs drama, getting close, tight margins. I mean, that's what you'd imagine between these two, our mega Seed 2 and Seed 3 from Alpha. Now we head in towards BBL's rifle round, and they've done so much damage to Navi that this bonus should be not much of a conversation.
True. In terms of converting those rounds, Navi do not sit particularly high in the pecking order. I think the main focus for me coming into this full buy has to be for BBL converting from post-plant positions, but then also getting yourself in post-plant, even like 5v5, 4v4, something like that, because I have to say right now burning the wick at both ends. Evan to lead the charge into sand once more, and supported by both initiators, they've already dumped utility, still building towards the first of those ultimates.
Angel switched up from the A side to the C side as well, the deadlock ready to combine with a Cypher.
Util is there, but Levin just trying to bypass this, actually grouping up with Yampi instead, wrapping around the side. That's where the Stinger gets involved. And sure, Levin will drop without his kill, but the rest of the team have followed it up. BBL with 3. Navi down to their last couple players.
And what, you've got a Guardian, Vandal here, there's investment and players ready to fight. But with that being said, 2 players to the good. BBL should have this done and dusted.
Looking at the money, Ruxic should be inclined to save it. I mean, Shao as well, I was going to say, it's just the Guardian that you're holding on to. Do you want to throw that into the situation? Keep it for the next round. I think that's the option that they've elected for here. So much better from BBL, just quick, efficient trades. We've seen them a couple of times now condition that refreshable utility. This is the first time they act upon it.
And I think as well, Levin is the only one that dies, and I made a point of saying like his first death is pretty high, right? But he's getting value in the sense of the value of the space, and not only that, his tradability as well, which I really like from BBL. It's nice and simple.
Of course, Levin as well moving back onto the jet, a little more dynamic in terms of his gap close. You saw the updraft used there, and it's actually Yampi's double with the Stinger that makes all the difference. Now into the next, it is just those 2 saved weapons. I think my idea of the Navi economy was a little bit more ambitious than what they are actually working with.
100%. BBL just going back towards this C mound fight.
And to sort of hark back to how Navi are playing this, as you can see, Hero just trying to bait early on, and Koala Noob on the other extremity, working the map as they're trying to maximize this. BBL look to be pretty direct for a 2nd round in a row.
Yeah, but this Rolling Thunder doesn't actually catch Ruxic, but the Raven does! Hero at the back of site opts to back out and play the numbers, although how many numbers are really going to be left here? It's a 3 versus 5, and Levin's on the hunt!
Yeah, that insatiable hunger that he holds, not going to stop until he's put in the ground. Navi down to the 2 Sentinel players, both on pistols. Didn't come in with all too much. The grab net's back up. That's something to think about potentially, but I think the big narrative point for this round, for me at least, for BBL in terms of those entries and actually how they've looked to work the map instead is when they played Lotus last time against Mates, you're seeing Levin go A at the start of the round a lot and trying to open up that space instead, which was a bit of a mixed bag, but here already you're seeing they value the fact that you can just hit C quickly. Yumpy's steps being heard, but Angel giving nothing away. So that's how it ends, 2-2.
Something else to note from this round as well is the fact that NAVI actually tried to fight for Mount, right? When you think towards the 3 players that started in main.
Yeah, it was a team blind.
Yeah.
The only reason Shao dies there is because he was blinded by Ruxic.
Yeah. But for this round, moving into the next one, that C Mountain fight, they're not wanting to go for it. BBL, they're going to opt for Rubble instead. And this is where we've seen
Cut their walls down.
the Rays come through time and time again, and the showstoppers available.
It is. Kualanu back on a roll, which he gave up for Hero previously, but already showing what he can do. Quick double kill. BBL reset, trying to fight back through, and that's where they're going to have the jump on Koala. Shao still standing out in the open. The only player nearby is Ruxic and Tree. Given just enough time to disengage, Na'Vi will keep their man advantage.
On the other side of the map, though, the Cypher of Hero is going to try and move with the ebb and flow of the map. And he'll have eyes on the attacker spawn. Meanwhile, BBL, try go B.
And Shao has shown his hand, but this positioning main is so strong. Taking the B site now, especially with Hero closing the net, means that BBL are stricken for options, and A looks like the only real outcome.
I have to look towards Ruxic, a man who's had an uptick in performance, and well, it's Shao and Angel are the ones instead to get the kills. Ruxic now to add on top, but it's Yampy. Imagine finding himself a little pocket on the side, but Ruxic will get that kill, and Na'Vi get their advantage back.
You could see as well, Hero was trying to do a little bit of limit testing on the previous round, and having brought that now into this, they do get the early info. There are rotations there. You're seeing the reaction as well from Shao to take the B main space, and as soon as that happens, he has a strong position here late, and BBL aren't able to set up that layering, the positioning that allows them to win in post where they have struggled, but another huge round coming up.
BBL, a lot more default, looking to explore the map, look for clues.
And you have to against this comp at times, and that is where you will find the reward. Sociable knocks down Hero. That's the up on attack in play.
And that's a massive gap that you've just opened up, and Na'Vi need to be quick to try and fill it, but instead BBL are the ones that take the space.
Exactly. Levin's just going to dive bomb straight in, blades in hand. Takes the elevated positioning. Up in the bird's nest, just waiting for Na'Vi to show us something, because Angel has the ult right now. That annihilation can come in at a moment's notice. He's simply waiting for the spike to hit the ground before he opts for it.
The longer this takes, though, the better Na'Vi are going to be in possession. Instead, it's the ultimate used by the tail. Koala Noob in towards backside, trades it out even.
Yeah, this is all spaced now, but Angel still has the ult, now investing it. What? Looking to connect to anything. No, Na'Vi 2 kills back. Advantage suddenly sitting with them. Spike drop towards Bend. Still a bit of time for BBL to make an adjustment, pivot away from this. That looks like exactly what they're going to do. As soon as the support of Sociable arrives, the door is turned, and B is on notice.
Evans, Blades, manages to dodge the Sonic Sensor, a tap of the spike for a bait.
And with BBL being a player down here, Sociable's just turned this to a full-on lurk. He spots Shao, but he gets Angel instead. That's 2 players for the price of 1, and so back to C11 goes.
Time is getting low. This spike plan is massive. It needed to be done, but Koala Noob is clutch, and he'll win the round for Na'Vi. A massive timing for him.
There is just none left for BBL there. Sociable at the very least able to sidestep the salvos and secure that rifle as any kind of remainder into the next. But the op has been repossessed by Koala Noob after it found an acute first pick. Nice use of the ult from both teams to just clear space and make things ugly, as the seaside can be at the best of times.
I felt as if, though, that the pause from BBL, right, they're trying to bait something out, but...
Guys, we are doing super fine. Guys, trust me, we are doing super fine. Right now,
seems as if they're still confident in what they're doing, but at the same time, it's not getting the results that they're looking for. Have to be looking at Ruxic here.
On an island, but that's how he likes to play. BBL not going to give him the time of day, not allow C to be contacted, and actually Na'Vi just doubled down. Hero here in support. Again, it's that info game that they seem to be winning right now on the defense.
I mean, a tap of the cam, you know that no one's going to be in that B main space. It's towards the extremities which we look, and KoalaNoob has his op.
The question is, do BBL still want to head into this, or do they expect an overextension from Na'Vi elsewhere? Because being posted outside of C, Magnum would have heard the drone for the reclear. They're going to still head straight into this.
Yeah, the op is ready. Seen the barrel, and there goes Sociable. So quick. With that, Na'Vi are so happy to leave that A site.
Magnum still committed to this lurk, potential for a B pivot late, but once again it feels like BBL are running out of options. Na'Vi not quite cottoned onto it. Sentinel utility in the choke rather than Hobbit, left. So free entry to the site as far as they're concerned. But how does this post plant look? They've got to play aggressive again.
Heaven, hello, they gets one back in his favour, but Yampi, he's lucky to escape with his life. Spike, though, has been confirmed. 3 players towards the B heaven.
BBL are a little isolated in how they're choosing to play this. Prophet space in Hobbit is huge, though, and he will continue to find value with his smoke to support. Oh, free haircut.
Yeah, Yampi's lucky, Magnum isn't. That was pure skill. There goes Hero. Na'Vi taking their time, coming back in, waiting for utility to come up, and with that, BBL are in position to win, and they'll convert. Na'Vi throw in the white till.
There's just not long enough left on the board for Na'Vi to make this workable, and Xiao peeking into a pack of players. You were thinking that could have just continued to build their empire, but it's a slow process, as it has been for both of these teams throughout groups into the playoff stage.
I mean, that's what you'd expect, right? You grow into it, I think, as well, when you compare the two teams. BBL tinkering with what agent, what comps, what's working for them. Na'Vi have always stayed with what they're good at, right? The same comps every single time, and then building up the playbook from there.
Not on this map, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
Lotus is where they like to make changes, so that is the playoff deviation that you're looking at, and KoalaNoob's op, the consistency. Can he get another? It's Angel, the first in the firing line, and Levin looking on, waiting to try and find the kill. The dash out is exquisite. There is no trade. Koala senses players nearby, and so he continues to walk forwards with the pin pulled, still no player found, and Na'Vi are hanging around.
BBL aren't, though. Look where the spike is, all the way over on the C side. This is a foot race, and it's who can get there first. It seems to be Na'Vi.
Yampi knows it's a 1v1, but he's going to back himself. And so Hero goes down, and the C side collapses yet again. The captain to courier the cargo over. As the spike goes down, it's another situation where you feel like Na'Vi are not going to show too much interest in this one.
They shouldn't. Magnum can also go and be an extra layer. Instead, decides to support the rest of the pack. And Na'Vi, I mean, they're wanting to save for these rifles, but it will eventually come to a point where they have to start moving forward and actually trying to upset this one. You look at the money, though, it's a decent enough decision.
And I think you're also starting to see here as well how KoalaNoob's op is factoring into what the macro looks like for Na'Vi. There was an interesting stat line that he hadn't actually bested another duelist player in a head-to-head with the op so far this event, up until you know, the last couple of weeks, as Brooksit finds the first of the exits, as this round does go to BBL and ties us up. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, you know, Flyer on the desk was saying it the other week, that the way to play against it, and whenever they clashed in challenges in NA, was that you're looking to meet him where he's going to be next, rather than avoiding it. And I think you're starting to see that now with BBL, at least in terms of how they're opening some of these rounds.
Interestingly enough here, we will be moving into a timeout, and it's BBL that's called it of the two teams, and they've had 2 successful rounds, so I wonder, does the coaching staff, have they seen something that they can work on, work against? Well, it was BBL on our screens, but it's actually NAVI.
Well, hey, look, maybe a double timeout?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Not again.
But in terms of what Na'Vi will be talking about here, I mean, you won 4 out of the first 6 rounds. Taking a pistol away from BBL, prying one from their hands, a difficult task, as many know, sitting just above 70%. At this stage in the game as well, there are some big ults coming up for both teams. You can see it. The Armageddon on Shao, one off the showstopper. Koala Noob leading the charts. But then for BBL, it's that Rolling Thunder from Yumpy, which at times has been a tell of where they are looking to execute, as they do build around and build off him quite substantially.
Just to confirm, it is a Navi timeout, just in case. Just in case. I know it looked different in-game for us, but looking at this, big stat line. And I think as well, like, when you think of how dependable and the utility that Angel's got, I think this is a massive stat line for him.
Saving a penny or two from the pocket of Jack Igo. We know he was giving out bundles for every few first deaths given away. And it looks like it would have been one for Hero, but it's Levin that adds to that terrifying tally. Yumpy bouncing back with a couple of his own. And BBL are in the driver's seat on C yet again.
But once again, Levin first death straight away traded out. And now BBL move into an advantage. And that what should be post-plant, but spam is looking pretty good. BBL trying to sway that with their own utility.
Spike planted.
There's ultimates to come back in here though if Navi want to use them.
Absolutely. I mean, Magnum's going to disrespect this smoke solo. Looks like he's just waiting to walk in up close and personal. The Sheriff of Angel. It's the best course of action. He's walked in already and tried to spot out the first head. Angel's got so far ahead of this, but Yumpy keeps half an eye on the situation, knowing that in that head-to-head he's so often lost. This one isn't going to go away from him. Navi's still running it into the site, but this feels like a formality. Magnum running it down, still time playing against them. And there you have it. BBL trading down their advantages perfectly. They now lead on Lotus.
I love how the BBL fans, you know, they had one chance to see their team go and play, and they've come in the droves to support here. You can hear them in the background, giving it advantage that BBL can now work with as they move through this attack. Rolling Thunder, perhaps not the Armageddon, the Annihilation to come.
It is the Armageddon.
Sorry, apologies.
All good.
It's just we could Deadlock there, here Annihilation. I mean, like synonyms of one another.
Yeah. But that's what the timeout would have been all about. Navi knowing that there are ult rounds to build from here. The strat book yet to be shown. This new change on Lotus. It's Koala right up the guts of B. Nothing given from that. Yumpy again with another big kill. And Levin won't lose this time. So player advantage BBL. It's the A space they find themselves in with this time. And having spotted that sonic sensor down, they know the space is open. What? That's crazy from Ruxig.
He's aggressive every single time. Rolling Thunder used to stall out the retake, but it's only one player caught, and it's found! Yumpy can't quite get the transfer of the crosshair. At the same time though, look at the post plan. Both players out a tree.
Has to drop back because they knew the ult was coming in.
Oh, and they go, still though, Navi, they've stalled out Profik, onto the spike they go. Profik needs to win that first duel, but can't quite do it. And Shao with 3 on the round. Massive, but Navi equal out the score.
It's a really strong position to be in now for Navi. They chose to start on the defense. You have to remember they are playing double Sentinel. The expectation is that they lead this half, especially with the way that they started it. Just getting back on track as things stand, but BBL still have a lot to throw at them. Talking of Ruxig, I mean, this guy was lights out against Vitality. Felt like whoever was on the Omen, him or Koala, was the one causing issues.
Nice
this is just something that BBL have to be aware of to punish him as much as possible.
100%. BBL, they'll reset, go back towards looking around the map, 3 towards the A side, and still priority put on the extremities rather on B.
You've been getting huge value out of being proactive on B as well. Shao soon to be caught. It's actually Angel that drops. I'm not sure what the plan was there, but Navi had 2 players peeking. Info back to BBL, and with the spike headed towards A, this is where they will aim to finish what would be their 6th round.
Navi trying to be proactive here. Angel's got a great call on the round. The thing for me though, this is a must-win for Navi when you look at the money.
Waiting to peek back out the smoke. The paranoia prepared. It catches onto a couple players. Rogsig, that's huge utility usage. The rest of NAVI profit from it. But still, health pool is low. Sociable's picked up a Phantom. That's the first player. The healthy one dropped. Rogsig is gone, and there's only one more standing in his way. Sociable shifts from the door, and Hero just re-clears.
30 seconds left.
But the spike is his. And with 6 bullets, and the Hobbit door broken by those salvos at the start of the round means that the dominoes have fallen in the direction that sets him up.
Thing is, though, you look towards the Cypher utility still up. You can tap that cam to see towards Waterfall. You know a player isn't towards main.
10 seconds left.
Hero has information to work with
planted.
here.
Question is, how far does Sociable go? He has salvos and the ult, so Hero is already playing with borrowed time and borrowed health. Has to get a move on here. Sociable knowing that he's low.
Doesn't want to reload either. Give away another audible.
Exactly. So he'll play the slow game. Hero now finally arriving on site. First of the salvos coming out as a precautionary measure by Sociable. Can Hero hold his nerve? He's not going to be given half a chance. That's the ult. Straight back in. But still there's time to pull this off. He has to get onto the spike right now and find half. But Sociable has played the timing perfectly. Letting loose all the util step by step and just securing that 6th.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about the Turkish rookies in VCT this year, Zeus, Levin, and also Ruksik. But everyone forgets about Sociable, the 28-year-old rookie.
The eldest rookie in VCT EMEA since partnerships began, but you can already see why his teammates put so much trust in him. Someone who's been made to play multiple roles, but since he has shifted into this Teho, it feels like that is the perfect fit, as it's a Red Bull clutch which continue us straight into the next round. With a bit more venom, BBL back to A again.
Bodies here, but Navi are the first to fall. Koala at least there to get the trade, but he's not long for this world. BBL winning out this A fight, and they continue on as they try to hunt down Shao, but he's able to escape.
BBL have access to the A site again though. Cairo, Hero the only player with a Vandal in hand. He's the closest spy. If he drops, and all of the rest fall like a house of cards, and there you have it. Opposite number shut down. Magnum giving us what should now be a BBL advantage in this first half of their map pick.
Yeah, this is in line with what we expect from Navi as well on the defense. Shao, though, does have utility to work with. Against 3, I mean, you're just expecting BBL to close this out.
Excuse me, Shao's stuck in the mud. Trying to get out of tree now. Again, just not enough time to even consider the possibility of this round being won by Navi. That's it, BBL confirmed their advantage. It's going to be a 7-5 half in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just touched on it. This is what we expect from Navi, but with that double Sentinel on attack now, how does that work? But with that being said, let's hear from Yampi on how much it'd mean for BBL to make it to Masters Toronto.
Out of my way.
I think for playoffs, our mentality is pretty straightforward. We want to qualify to Toronto. I think the stage 1 especially showed that we can do it. We are working every single day towards that and together as a team.
Nice. Main. Defuse. Nice. I will defuse. I managed to. I have 2 bullets.
Nice defuse, please. He can't kill him. Just kill him.
I think if we qualify to Toronto, for me personally, it's another statement that I can be a tier 1 player. I was very, very close going back to tier 2 this year, and making Toronto is kind of mark that I can be a tier 1 player, and for the team, it would be an unbelievable experience.
Coming out of the first half, BBL with the advantage on their own map pick of Lotus, one which they've not lent into all that often. Navi themselves have shown it in spells, but when they do, that often comes with change. Now into yet another pistol round. The question is going to be, can they tie us up early and show us the value of these changes? Or will we see more smiles from the audience as BBL have brought out numbers today?
I mean, that's it, right? On a day where history could be made, one away from making it to a Masters event for the first time for BBL. And you've got to be thinking, NAVI as well, it's been a long time since they've been amongst the top in the world in VALORANT.
Absolutely. It's an ongoing process for both of these teams from different places. And there is just a reminder that we have alluded to a couple of times already. That's what makes a big difference. I think the thing for me is if we do see BBL start to then kick on, how comfortable can it be? Can they keep it clean? Because I have to say at times, they've left a couple of these rounds hanging. NAVI are not the sort of team that you can give that space. And so Sociable's already put his foot down. And it's Angel gone.
It's a big loss. You think of the initiation on the double Sentinel composition, and it really comes from that deadlock. BBL have an idea about this C play, especially with the spike being over towards this side.
Drone going out.
You can see Cypher being kept on B to keep that utility up in case the drone was to come through.
Once abreast.
Yeah, no, this is a great fight. Koala Noob taking down Profek. Didn't have too much early info there either, but BBL interrupting things. Still, Xiao unperturbed. He gets his one. It is the spike drop, though, as you say, and Ruxic has to find a way to follow this up. It's with the smoke, but does Levin leave it? Yeah, he does.
Happy with the 3v3 now, not giving Navi the advantage. At the same time, BBL, you look towards Yampi, moving through C Mound as Navi move on to A here.
30
You
seconds
can see
left.
BBL's defense just being a little worried about the space that Navi's taken because they've had so much time on this side of the map.
Points Navi did look a little bit split up from one another, but you can see the setup is inclined towards upper. They're grouping there, but BBL coming in through stairs.
All three towards backside, utility to work with, and it does look good. The blast pack was even better, and Koala still comes out better than Levin. Yampi can't quite get it done in a 1vx. And Navi win that pistol round, and that's the second pistol round that they've won in this 2 out of 2, even though they are the kings of pistol rounds, BBL.
And it's the exact same way that Navi kicked off that win, which came as a shock to many against Vitality. They won both pistols on the opening map of Haven. This one is far more closely cut, I think, early on at the very least, but Koala Noob showing exactly what he can do. A player who, moving on into that next game, that qualification match for Toronto, could mean so much. Chance for a homecoming. In front of a crowd, of course, with his own wife and child. I mean, it means so much for these players. That goes without saying.
BBL trying to create a trap play towards the A side. It seems like Navi are ready to fall for it as they move in. They're moving towards this side of the map. Levin was the only one left towards C.
BBL have stacked bodies up here. But it is just Levin's upgraded pistol that they have. That's on C. How good can these classics be?
And the utility. I mean, Yampi and Sociable have full belts, but they're walking right under their noses, and Sociable found.
Oh, wait!
The classic's working, and that's one of the rifles that Navi had.
Still not bad, though. I mean, yeah, you've got an upgrade, and actually, this panic play into B sends them straight to Levin.
This could be massive for BBL. Instead, Yampi deals with players that were left towards the A side. Angel only on a pistol, and Ruxic with that Vandal. There's nothing that can really rescue. In fact, sorry, there's one towards Mound. Timing.
Door opens up.
No way. Magnum's going to peek out and Ruxic's going to find it. Still Levin to come into the fray, and well, that rifle that BBL had is gone. It still looks towards Navi, although the Sheriffs might be able to kill. Instead, it's Levin's rifle that he got. And we go all even once again. Anti-eco denied.
Such a big round win for BBL. Just as I said, you want to see Na'Vi keep this clean, build off the back of the double pistol round wins that they found. They got to settle for 6 here. And look, BBL as a team, we know that they're super dangerous in these positions. They have the 3rd best eco round win percentage in the league so far. But then when you look at Na'Vi, they're 3rd from bottom when it comes to that statistic.
I like this from BBL as well. On their next purchase, getting that outlaw in. I mean, they've even got a hero rifle from Hero, and it's gone straight like that.
That cape is stripped right from his bag. Levin, wow, it's just something out of top drawer from Levin. His time is on rails. 3 quick kills. There wasn't all too much behind this from Na'Vi. But it's the context in which it's just stripped away as Sociable sent them up to a 9th.
Every time, I don't know what it is, Levin just has these pop-off rounds. You name a match and you can think of one, right? That whether it's the Blades, whether it's the Vandal. And the fans are loving that.
One of their own, a player to celebrate. From the Turkish league now to the top tier, the big stage. Looking to take it one step further this playoffs. For every round that he's had where he's gone down early and maybe been traded or even worse, not had impact, you get a couple like this from time to time where Levin is just tying them all up together. Nobody can get past him. Cracks the whip, the op has 2. It's a 2-player advantage which Na'Vi will leave unanswered.
I mean, Navi still sitting B main, but you've still got that Cypher trap that will notify anybody trying to break through. Angel tries to come through the door. Sociable wins that 1v1. When it comes to gunfights, it's all BBL at the minute.
Levin still just looking over from upper. The bulk of BBL's retake is coming in from the A side. But already you can see Yumpy as the sole custodian of the C site. Just trying to backstop this. Help can't arrive soon enough. It is all on him.
Koala's first up. And you know, we've seen it giving away his positions though. Blast pack out, Koala wins that. C site is now open.
And that's the duel which Na'Vi desperately needed. Xiao just fluffing his lines a little bit on the plant, but it allows the showstopper to come back through. Damage, no kill. Prophet lives on 3. BBL have as many players, but the first of them falls. Finally kicked over the threshold, Xiao finding 1, but he needs all the rest. Ult available, the salvos and the stun. But in this committed corner, it's so much you ask of him. He's already got the first, but Magnum flying across the screen with a shorty sends them up to 10.
Double digits within touching distance. They're really making Navi's economy look dreadful. Levin, once he's moved on to this defense, his first kill percentage, absolutely insane. His team setting him up perfectly. It's this fight back, and this is what always worries me about BBL. A little bit of sloppiness once they're in front.
He does the perfect jiggle pick without doing it.
Yumpy complimentary. Interesting to hear from him after that foot game, sort of saying as well, if there's no sound coming from me, they're in my head. And if my voice is hoarse, then, you know, I'm in their head. And I have to say right now, it doesn't feel like he's had to shout, yet still the rounds are flowing through. With Na'Vi calling another timeout at this stage in the game, it's what I circle back to that I mentioned earlier. We've seen BBL a number of times now go up of a scoreline, you know, 11-6, give or take. We saw it against Gentlemates when they played Lotus on this exact same map. They were leading by 5 rounds, but they couldn't close on the defense, the same position that they find themselves in here. Same on Ascent against Foot when we went to the million overtime 48 round game. I just want to know that if they win this next round, Can it be clean, or do Na'Vi have something to respond? Because they do need to now.
They do. I mean, that's the big thing, though, when you look at the socials aspect to it as well. What the players were tweeting. Magnum said that he felt that BBL were in the best shape of the season so far, and this was the time to show it. And as you said, they can't let this lead slip, especially not against Navi, who's, as you've seen on that stat line, equal percentage win rate has been dreadful. Not that you'd have much of a chance, but I mean, here already it looks bad. It's sociable, it's teed up brilliantly.
So comfortable for BBL as well. Looking at the matchup between the now in-game leaders, Yumpy, many of his duels against Angel taken from the second seat.
I think for me, like, coming into this, oh wait a minute, look towards C-Mound, this operator.
Levin is looking, but he's just going to dash out of there. Navi not given a thing, and as soon as contact is hit, you know it's two players. Smoke goes up, Sociable's there by the door, and he's going to guard it with his life. It's an in-zone flawless. BBL have their 11th, as expected. But in terms of those micro improvements, can they finally show some for us here?
Yeah, and I think as well, one thing that is always massive about Sociable and these multi-frags is how quick he's able to get these ultimates back up. The Armageddon, for instance, it's come back up again.
It's the support network on this round as well. I mean, BBL are just so reactive to what Na'Vi are doing. Feels like they're understanding the directness of this side, at least in terms of how they're trying to take early space. Magnum walk the line.
That's Prophet with them.
Right through the middle of the map. Levin looking towards Sando, and just before the tailwind expires, he does fire off one shot.
This is massive.
This is crazy! I mean, he's literally sat on top of the trip. And so Hero drops outside of B. Levin not given the C space to hold on to yet, but he's going to go straight back in.
I mean, the Nuno theft has lit everyone up, but Levin's just sending it in, and the timing's insane!
I didn't mean it literally, but the shorty's out, and he very nearly found himself a second, converging from both ends. Profek and Magnum doing their best. BBL still in a strong position, but backing on up. It ain't bulletproof. Profek dropping, and now a 2-on-2. Kuala Noob trying to move it forwards, but it's Shao instead that'll send the needle in Navi's favour. That's number 7, and that's warning signs for BBL.
I felt a little bit rushed and a little bit egocentric as well. When you see the players like taking the duels that they did on the retake, not necessarily the B main plate, but it has to be said, Navi responded very well in the mid-round to get on towards C. The ultimate usage good. Just need to be a little bit more aware of the timings that BBL are trying to take.
All missiles away.
A lot of these rounds from Navi being so stop-start as well. You can tell the reason why they want to get investigative. Hero so often a strong suit of how they play these rounds, really valuable lurks. Ever since his rookie year on Fnatic, been so good at doing it.
I think right now we're seeing how Navi need to play this, right? Slow, scaling up, they can't flash, and be as explosive as BBL. This is looking very clearly like a B split, and straight away Navi go in.
Tension is shown. Angel does have the ult to draw back on, and look, when they get into post, it can be scary. You have so much safety net here, and with Kuala Noob already finding the first, Yumpy going down, that's a lot of your retake util gone.
Magnum, someone found his timing, and the sonic sensor did go off. And well, it looks like Navi are going to have a well clear advantage here as the annihilation goes off. BBL, they've left Sociable to try and get something, but Levin, he wants to keep this up in pocket.
It was a quick 2-for-1 because as soon as that first player goes down, the second reeled in for free. No one to untether them, as Angel has a vice grip on this round, as do Navi, and it's the same kind of stuff that I was talking about earlier. BBL get to an 11-6 scoreline, that gap of 5, they are right on the 11th round, right on the brink of greatness. As this team as a whole is, as their story has been this year, ushering in a new era. After 4 years as an organization, finally given something to shout about, the chance to potentially be the ones that represent Turkey on the international stage, no longer in the shadow of their now beaten Derby opponents. We see the timeout come through. The question is, what do you say to fix this?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing after the past couple of rounds and how solo and individual some of these rounds have been. You can totally understand why BBL have called a pause to this, just to talk about things and settle the nerves of the team, right? Because when you're in this position, your own map pick, so close to finishing it out, and you'd already spoken about it before, how much BBL give up their leads when they're in front.
And from the NAVI perspective, something so important for them is simply stability. We'd seen those first few series have to be extended to a deciding map for them to have a chance at winning it out. But it's what the players were talking about. Okay, we can 13-0 GX on a map, but then we lose 2-0 against Heretics the next. Then you follow that up with this huge Vitality win. But then if you drop to BBL in that opening round and you have to face KC and lowers, then you lose the advantage. All these mental margins that they've been stressing with the performance coach Zuza coming in and bringing a lot of value to that team environment.
Yeah, and I think as well when we look at the Heretics game, NAVI cited that as a chance to learn, and they have learned massively. You saw that in the Vitality game. Again, another slow round, as we expect NAVI to, using that drone to gain the information and create a big question mark towards A, but BBL fill that C space.
Over there.
Levin sticking to his guns, or Op in this sense. Just signposting BBL authority on C. There are loads of players towards the other side. Spits into Magnum they go. Quick double, and that defensive line drops back. The perimeter placed. Prophet runs out of bullets, but it's a 4v2 when the dust settles, and a chance for the defense to reset.
Lucky boy that Sociable has his utility up, and now the rest of BBL look towards A, but there is a slight gap, and that's towards Stairs.
Hero wants to be the thorn in their side, but Levin already has this covered. BBL have moved over. If the long rotation comes in towards C, then it's not a problem. They're set up for that retake.
Now on towards the spike. Hero can't really protect Koala from this position. It's left all up to the Rays to get this spike down, and BBL play patient. Would rather play with the numbers, and Levin up against Hero. It goes BBL's way, and they'll find 12.
For what feels like the first time, when BBL get in that position, they lose a couple rounds, timeout comes in, and it's a full reset. In terms of how they approach the round, you've got Levin really pushing the envelope on Sand, getting that op into a dangerous position. Magnum takes a bit of damage through the tree, but matters not. He gets his double. One more here from Prophet. I'm not too sure what Ruxic was planning there with the jump peak wide. Maybe just for the trade, but even then, Prophet with barely a bullet to his name gets out. So it all comes down to this. Finally, we see the op duel on both sides. Koala bringing it to the attack. Sand is where it goes down. The Canadian come out on top. Yes, he can.
Brilliant entry, and he's away so quick on the operator. Look at the players playing within the smoke, looking to destroy the drone and play it in front. A little bit aggressive, BBL.
Still a trap up here for Magnum, but he's playing to the side of it. When this cage goes in, I don't know they expect this position at all. Oh, Magnum could be in for huge value, and he is. Diamond Hands holds on for a little longer. Finally put down into the mud and the mesh where it lands. They'll be hitting a stun. You can't quite capitalize on it though. Hero stepping to salvos. And stepping out of dodge with an extra kill to his name. And that's the round for NAVI.
Still close between these two. A lot of unlucky timings, and I think as well Koala with this operator on the attack. He was saying in the NAVI post-split one regular season roundup that He wanted to do everything that he was doing on MEA, right? Talking about how he was open, talking about how he played, that comfortability, and he said he really found that in the last game. As for this map, I've not really seen it as much, but that last round shows me that it can come here and there.
But Brooksig burning half of his utility belt in that opening exchange. Only a little ground garnered.
Evan. The cam's there for contact as well.
There is an op on this line. Slowly creeping up. Koala, that first shot reveals it all. But still the spike is outside of C. Posturing towards sand. Evan waiting for this one player to walk in. It's the lurk of Hero. And when he falls, Na'Vi have struggled to maintain that map pressure. BBL could have them exactly where they need him. He takes this too early.
Spike's heading towards A. This could be the wrong decision for Navi.
Walk straight into it. There's a trap up there as well. Magnum has been good for more than the sum of his parts so far. When Levin pulls the trigger. Na'Vi not yet given the shakedown. It's 4 players in lobby now that Levin faces up against, and Angel wins it this time, but Magnum finds his and drops back. 30 seconds now, and they're doubling back.
Yeah, they are doubling back, and with that, though, you've got Rooksik to be the canary in the coal mines. He's towards C.
He was. All it was just a clear close. They're going in now with, what, 15 seconds or so once you hit the neck of the site. Prophet dealing further damage. Forced to give it up for the retake. BBL have tools, but as this round has dragged on, look what Na'Vi have used up.
Yeah, this is going to get far too
denied the
close,
bomb.
and it's going to be a win. There's nobody else to fill it in. It's BBL to win, map number 1.
All of that from an aftershock. Yumpy saving onto key utility.